And so to the second Icon Award for Outstanding Achievement. Presenting this second award is an actress and comedian who is a camp icon herself. Please welcome Miss Babs, Celia Imrie.
I don't want you to think that I'm not giving you a tiny little bit of a clue by the way I'm dressed as to who I'm going to give this award to. Do you like it? I've been in love with this winner, really, ever since he sent me the most beautiful bouquet of red roses to the theatre where I was doing a little show called Acorn Antiques. Well, you would fall in love with somebody who sends you a bouquet of red roses and you've never even met them. So I'm very, very proud to be giving the second Icon Award for Outstanding Achievement to a man who really has had an outstanding career and an outstanding life. Coming from Birkenhead in Liverpool, can you guess? He moved to London to be a social worker in the 70s. And at a South London gay bar, he first put on a wig and high heels. And at that time was born one of our biggest blonde bombshells, or as he likes to put it, a blonde bomb site. As one of our best loved club acts, it was in the 1980s when AIDS hit, and he was a marvel. In his third part of the best-selling autobiography, he recalls visits to AIDS wards, looking after people who often had no one else, bringing ciggies and booze, and often serving it in urine bottles from Nurse Lily, entertaining patients, counselling them, and separating scrapping enemies. In Still Standing, The Savage Years, he remembers the last day of one young man, not even 20, who told him, "I've only been with one fella, Lily." Our winner's talent as a comedian is huge. His unique wit was spotted at the Edinburgh Festival, and he was recruited to The Big Breakfast, and his TV career took off. With Lily Live, Blankety Blank, and loads more. He took over television. Sick of the time it took on to put on lashes and lippy, he branched out as himself, and another phenomenally successful career began. He is one of the nation's favorite TV stars. We've seen his adoring love of animals, the recent groundbreaking documentary for the BBC on the working class, and now he's about to return to Channel 4 with his show, and there's lots more acting roles that I know about coming up. On top of this, his biographies with Trans World Publishers didn't sell the few thousands they expected. They sold millions. It feels like he's only just begun, and so I'm absolutely thrilled to present the second Icon Award for Outstanding Achievement, supported by Sky, goes to the deliciously handsome Paul O'Grady.
Thank you very much. Well upon me Kexel. I tell you what, I looked up Icon on my phone before, and it said an ancient religious artifact. And I thought, well, I'm a 58-year-old ex-altar boy, so I suppose it fits, really. But, I mean, what can I say about... I remember years ago doing a women's benefit in the 80s, and it was the days when women was spelled W-I-M-M-I-N, women, you know, spare rib. And I was sharing a dressing room with Julie Felix, and we got on like a house on fire. And there was a wonderful compere called Vivacious. Do anyone remember Vivacious? Oh, she was a cracker. And she introduced me as a daikon. And I tell you what, that made my bloody nice. It really did. But this is wonderful to receive this, because basically I've just gone through life enjoying myself, you know, and never, ever sort of keep my sexuality hidden. The press have always said, Paul, who is openly gay, Like, they expect me to run down fucking Old Compton Street in a pair of sateen shorts, blowing a whistle, singing hits of ABBA. After I wrote Still Standing, I was determined to remember all these brave, really brave friends of mine and customers of the Vauxhall Tavern and all the gay bars who came to see Lily. I was determined to record their bravery and how stoic they were, how they dealt with this, and it was just atrocious. And I had so many letters of young people to say they had no idea that this had happened, and how the hell did I cope? And I wrote back to all of them. These are bits of like 16 twinks, you know what I mean? And anyway, I wrote back and I said, I'll tell you how we coped, because we're gay. Because when you're gay, you're stoic, you're devious, you learn lots of tricks, you learn how to survive, and you learn how to cope. And also being gay for me, because I've never been in, believe it or not, never, even though I had a daughter at 17, but I won't go into that now. I'd shag anything with a pulse when I was a teenager, quite frankly. No, I was a right trollop. Well, I lived in Liverpool. It was a thriving port, thank God for the Navy. There you go. And I wrote back to them and I said, for me, being gay means being special. Absolutely special. It really does, because I've been given access to lots of avenues. If I'd have been a straight lad, I'd never have seen. And I've met so many fascinating people, like this lady here who got me to work in a fringe theatre that Anne Frank and her family wouldn't have hidden in, for a £5 for a month's work in a lovely Irish play called Drama at Inish, and I had a wonderful time, and it's only because of you. No, it's honestly, sweetheart, because I adore you. See, you know that, honestly. And so I've met wonderful people. I really have had a great time. And I remember when I was doing the chat shows, and I'd say, well, what's she like? They say, oh, she's a right icon. You know, she's an icon, which is a euphemism for somebody who's very grand and a great big bitch. But I'd just like to say, I'm not grand. There you go. But thank you very, very much for this. Thank you. God bless you all.
Well, congratulations.
Thank
Look at
you.
this fabulous. We've got it the right way round. No, we haven't.
Really lovely.
That way round. This has been happening all night. You've got a gold one. Not everybody has those.
Gold.
Cecilia, that must have been lovely for you to actually present the award.
Well, actually, they're nerve-wracking occasions, actually, but I adore Paul and I'd do anything for him,
She's
so it was easy.
Fly. She never told me.
No, of course not.
We sat at the same table.
Was I being normal? I didn't have a drink.
Very normal. No, she never had a bet. Normally, she's back by half a bottle of whiskey by now, and I have to sit on her to stop her fighting. Well, I'm delighted to receive this, honestly, I really am.
Well, I remember when we were outside, I wasn't expecting you to be so sincere about what you said about the magazine and what it's done for the gay community and how...
You know, it's done so much, really. They're always going about coming out, which is very easy if you're middle class with money. But if you're a young kid on a cancer estate in Hull, it's extremely difficult. And I get lots and lots of letters off young kids. And I always write to them and say, get the hell out of there. I did, although I adore my hometown of Birkenhead, but I realised it wasn't for me, and I got the hell out. I mean, I've had a hell of a life, I'll admit it. Don't forget, I was working in a brothel in Manila when I was 18. And not as a hooker, I was a barman. I had a few offers, you know what I mean, but I'm not doing it for $10, I'm sorry. Put the money up and I'll consider it, you know.
Congratulations and thank you so much.
Thank you so much, honestly, it's really nice.